Hey, this is Jeremy and welcome to the Daily Devo. Today we're going to talk about a time to be silent and a time to speak. Years ago, I ended up inside of a room with a few titans of the faith. I was invited into that space because my mentor believed I could handle myself well in that moment. And as I sat in the room and I listened to them share their hearts, I was astounded. I learned more about leadership in that hour than I had in a year. The thing that would have messed it all up is if I was insecure and just couldn't stay quiet. If I just had to give my opinion on a subject they were talking about. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 7 says that there's a time to be silent and a time to speak. There are times in our life where we should just be silent and times where we should speak up. Generally, we should be way faster to listen and learn than we are to speak or voice an opinion. Think about the life of King David. The prophet showed up and anointed him to be the next king, but he was just a teenager. He didn't know anything about politics or running a kingdom. He gets invited to the king's courts because he was a skilled musician. He gets a front row seat to seeing how the current king handles politics and problems. Now imagine if he heard the current king make a decision that he didn't like. What if he stopped playing his instrument, stood up and said, "I'm the next king of Israel and I disagree with that decision"? I imagine his refusal to recognize there is a time to be silent would have cost him dearly. Sometimes we squander amazing opportunities to learn and grow simply because we can't stay quiet. There's this natural tension here that can only be solved by wisdom. Here's the cool thing. The Bible tells us that if we lack wisdom, we can pray for it and God will give it to us liberally. As Christians, we have to be truth tellers, but we also need to speak the truth in love. Here's the deal. Speaking the truth can help set other people free, or it can be used to put guilt and shame on others. It's not just speaking up, it's how you do it. We could put it this way. Love cares enough to speak truth in a way that people can receive. Instead of shouting at people on social media platforms, I'm going to take a friend to dinner. I'm going to listen to what they have to say, and I'm going to speak truth into their life. Today, take a look at your life. Have there been times recently when you've been too quick to speak when you should be listening? Or maybe you've been silent for too long and need to speak the truth in love. Remember, you can pray and you can ask God for wisdom. Thank you for joining us today on the Daily Devo.